Hey, what's up, family? Elgin Walker here, EXP Realty. Hey, man, February already, right? I want to go over a couple of things with you guys, particularly for my entrepreneurs and real estate agents, in regards to, say, cash flow versus assets and building both for your businesses. I have to tell you, real life happens to all of us. Like right now, I'm actually from my home office working, and guess what happened? Well, we had a pipe burst. We had a pipe burst a couple of days ago, flooding the house, all that good stuff. Uh, Long story short, now I'm doing a complete repipe of a good sized home, and it looked like a war zone in here. A lot of you hear some noise in the background. That's the people trying to put our home back together. But we still got to move on. I still got to help families, still helping agents, still building. So I wanted to get the video out to you here. So in running a business with cash flow, real estate agents, or entrepreneurial stuff that you do, a lot of it's very similar. A lot of it's very similar. If you're a 1099 independent contractor type, you're building your business or whatever. I'm not going to say it doesn't apply to you if you are working a quote unquote normal, say 9 to 5 job, because it does, and you may have a secondary side hustle. But here's just a couple of things that I think that you should really look at right now, and mainly because we don't know where the economy is or going. We hear different stories, different stuff. There's a lot of noise. And if you get caught up in listening to this noise, it easily paralyze you from doing things you should be able to do, and paralyze you from building your stuff. And that's anybody. And then life comes in. Your pipe bursts in your house and it floods, right? You got all these other things that are distractions. There are things that are being thrown in your way to keep you from doing stuff you need to do to strive, thrive, and build yourself forward. So, number one thing that we should do is you got to focus on the transactions, right? You need to focus on whatever the transactions are and helping you with your business. So if it's listings, buyers and sellers, put your transactions together. You don't want to baby your transactions like a mother hen, but you do want to pay attention to them. You want to make sure the contingency periods are made. You want to make sure that your client is also having a good experience, and the goal should be to close them quicker, unless of course your client doesn't need them to close fast. But in an environment like this, rates going up and down, some uncertainty, and all of that, when you put these opportunities together to help families, buyers, and sellers, you want to do that. Um, I think that you should focus more on short-term goals necessarily than just long-term goals. Of course, you got 5-year plans and all that other kind of stuff, but you really want to focus all the way down to like weekly goals. How many people you're going to talk to? How many mailers you're putting out? How many videos you're doing? How many doors you're knocking? Folks you're calling? Conversations that you have. You really, 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 really want to look at that. And then I would also tell you to really look at your client acquisition, whatever you're doing. So what I mean by that is just lead generating. And are you doing online stuff? Are you doing door knocking? Whatever it is you're doing. If I were you, and I am, I have to really start to analyze right now what's the highest use of time and dollar, as far as what you're doing to attract your business. Like for me, I don't need to make $1 million gross and net 500,000. If I can make 500,000 and net 450 and a whole lot less time and a lot less effort, as far as those type of things, for that philosophy works for me more so than to jump up and down, have $1 million gross, and grab a whole bunch of awards and have a whole bunch of people, look at me like, "Whoa, what you doing?" It's all about what you're able to do to put away to help your family and your legacy. To me, you want to be more efficient. Make sure that you're making your opportunities count. Make sure that you're making your conversations count. You want to be as efficient as possible with your systems. If you're, and I'm not a good system person. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not a good systems person, but some people are, and you can always strive to be better. So what your CRM's doing, things like that, you want to make sure that you're building your business. Uh, Budgeting. And what none of us like to do but budgeting. I bet you could open up you look at your budget right now. You guys see those commercials? I think it's Rocket, and they talk about things you have subscriptions to and money that you're paying, and you don't even know you're paying it. You forget, and whatever the case. I mean, that's one thing that we really do have a lot of in our business, because everybody's reaching out to us to sell us something, and we're looking at it like, oh, it's one more deal, this, that, and the other, and there's an awful lot of waste that we have. So you should, on a continuous basis, go through that. But I will tell you right now, that's one of the things you really want to look at. The other thing is, we really want to buy assets, and when there is some uncertainty, to build a longer term wealth. And I'm talking about buying assets and stuff that will appreciate over time. So you're obviously, we're all into real estate. You hopefully would like to make some good decisions and get some real estate, additional real estate. And are you looking at it for cash flow? Are you looking at it for growth? Are you looking at whatever? But look at some real estate stocks. And are you looking at dividends for your stocks or growth, or just put if you were going to invest in stocks? And my opinion is, I'd look at some really strong companies. You look at some good companies that are going to probably be around. Stuff that you use. Do you use Google? I mean, do you ever use Google? I mean, maybe Google's a company you would look to invest in. And it's not investment advice and all that other stuff they're supposed to say. It's an example, of stuff that you may use on a, do you do, I mean, do you use Uber a lot? Whatever the case may be, those are things you may want to look at and study to possibly put a little bit of your capital into. You also want to stay educated, and stay educated on a wide macro basis, meaning you want to know what's going on in your particular market, say for a real estate agent, but you also want to look like what's going on nationally, and then you want to break nationally down to where you're at, maybe at your state level, and then maybe your county level. You want to break it down so you have a very wide vast of knowledge of what's going on, so that you can show the value you can share to your customers and to your clients. If at all possible as well, you want to leverage some things. You want to leverage some things, but you want to leverage them smartly. Like, don't just go out and don't, like, this is my opinion. Don't go and like sell your house and buy Bitcoin, or maybe you do, the way Bitcoin's gone up. But don't leverage into something to whereas if it goes wrong, if it goes slow, you have to make a quick decision to get out. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you just do. What's that whole saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. So you want to take some gradual steps and make sure you're doing better the whole time. But be consistent with it as well. You hear the term dollar cost averaging. If you're invested in the stock market, or invested in funds, or invested in some stuff maybe for your kids, things like that, just dollar cost average it, and just do the same thing if you can, every month or every week or whatever it is. And then, if you have something extra, you may throw the extra at it. If there's a major dip and you're very comfortable with it long term, maybe you throw a little something else at it. But I would do it on a more of a consistent basis as you're trying to build up some of these things. And also remember, as best as you can, to do what you can do to be tax efficient. You want to at all possible, legally, keep yourself in a position to where you're legally paying less tax than you need to do. So get someone to help you with that, or learn and do it yourself, whatever the case may be. You really want to work to pay some of your bills and some of your debt. Fixed income focus. I prioritize like steady income streams, not only from your commissions, but are you doing any part-time work, any small gigs? Are you building any revenue share? Are you building any stocks, like with the company that we're with EXP? Those are things that are a part of our business plan. If they're not yours, maybe you should look into that, whether it's EXP or another company, real estate wise, or if you're just as an independent and you don't want part of none of that, build your own portfolio, but get some income coming in. The more income you're coming in, the more assets and things you can use to build wealth, and it does not have to be on your own back the whole time, meaning of your commissions that you're doing for the families that you help. If you can bring in other revenue streams of some sort that will help you build your asset portfolio up, that's a wonderful and a beautiful thing. Again, we talked a little bit about expense management, and you also, what else? Avoid risky investments. Avoid risky investments, or avoid your overall exposure to them. So, for instance, you got $100,000, and there's some really quote unquote startup idea, something maybe crazy, maybe it's gallery, whatever it is. You get something like that. What you need to do at that particular point is, out of $100,000, maybe put 10,000 in it, maybe put 5,000 into it, maybe gradually put 5,000 into it. Don't throw your whole monies of capital, of investment capital, into something more risky. Now you want to take a few bucks and throw it at it, and that way, if it goes to zero or you lose it all, you still haven't. Nobody wants to lose all their money or investment on anything, but at least it will be something you can recover from because you've got your other capital, your major capital, and hopefully those are in safer types of opportunities. And I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest things you got to do. One of the biggest things you got to do on top of all of everything that we're just saying is you need a mental shift. You need to have a mental shift, which is tough. You want to keep your focus on certain things, but you want to have a mental shift into the fact that you're building wealth, you're working with capital, you are now a business. I am Elgin Walker, the business, not Elgin Walker, the person. And you want to build yourself that way so that you can increase your opportunities for the future. All right, everybody, it's 2025. You up on this right now? We got new administration. We got new stuff going. And it's time for you to make sure you take advantage of the opportunities and that you specifically focus on you and your family. God bless, and remember that no matter what you're going through in life, it's just a temporary condition because things do change, and it really is. It's a great life. God bless.